What if we told you that Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most influential philosophers, despised small talk? Yes, you heard that right. Nietzsche, a name synonymous with deep, profound thought, had a marked disdain for trivial, shallow conversation. He saw it as a drain on human connection, a conversation killer rather than a catalyst. Let's dive deeper into Nietzsche's critique of small talk. For him, small talk was not just a mere annoyance. It was a barrier to genuine human interaction. He believed that when we engage in small talk, we're not really communicating, we're just filling the air with words, avoiding the true essence of connection. The weather, the latest gossip, the mundane details of daily life. These were not topics Nietzsche wished to dwell on. Instead, Nietzsche championed substantive, meaningful dialogue. He was a man who craved depth, a thinker who sought to peel back the layers of the human psyche. He didn't care for idle chatter about the inconsequential. He wanted to delve into the heart of matters, to question, to challenge, to provoke thought. This disdain for small talk wasn't just an eccentric quirk. It was an integral part of Nietzsche's philosophy. He saw it as a reflection of society's superficiality, an indicator of our inability to connect on a deeper level. Superficial conversations, he believed, were a form of escapism, a way to avoid confronting our true selves. And how did Nietzsche respond to small talk? In the most Nietzschean way possible, he would simply walk out of social gatherings that didn't stimulate his intellect. Yes, he would leave, abandoning the trivialities for the pursuit of something more substantial. Nietzsche warned us about the dangers of small talk. It masks true feelings and, as recent research shows, can lead to stress and social anxiety. So next time you find yourself in a conversation, ask yourself, are you truly connecting, or are you just filling the silence with words? It's worth pondering, don't you think? The debate between deep and shallow conversation isn't new. It has echoed throughout history. Our journey begins in the bustling marketplaces and marble-clad symposiums of ancient Greece, where philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle engaged in profound discussions. They exchanged ideas on morality, politics, and the nature of existence. A far cry from our modern small talk, these dialogues were a rigorous intellectual exercise, not for the faint of heart, but they shaped the very bedrock of Western philosophy. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, where in the shadow of towering cathedrals, monks and scholars delved into theological debates. Their dialogues, often spanning days or even weeks, were filled with depth and nuance. These conversations, much like the Greek symposiums, held the power to shift paradigms and ignite revolutions of thought. However, the pendulum of conversation has not always swung towards depth. There have been periods in history where superficiality was the order of the day. The Victorian era, with its strict social codes and etiquette, often prioritized appearance over substance. Polite conversation was an art form, but beneath the surface, it was often devoid of heartfelt connection or intellectual stimulation. In the Roaring Twenties, the rise of consumerism and mass media fostered a culture of quick, fleeting exchanges. The focus was on pleasure and entertainment, not depth or meaning. Sadly, in these times, the richness of deep conversation was often lost in the cacophony of surface-level chatter. But history, as we know, is cyclical. As we look around today, we see a resurgence of the desire for meaningful dialogue. In an increasingly complex world, people are yearning for conversations that transcend the mundane and probe the essence of our shared human experience. So what can history teach us about the power of deep discussions? It shows us that these conversations have always been the cornerstone of intellectual progress. They challenge us, transform us, and connect us on a level that small talk simply cannot reach. In the next scene, we'll explore how this ancient wisdom is finding its place in our modern world, particularly in the realm of work and productivity. But for now, let's remember, history shows us that deep discussions have always been the cornerstone of intellectual progress. Fast forward to today, and the importance of substantive conversation is more recognized than ever. In the modern workplace, the value of meaningful communication is taking center stage. Businesses across industries are beginning to understand that the depth of conversation can be a driving force for innovation. When people move beyond the superficial, they tap into a wellspring of ideas, perspectives and insights that can fuel creativity and problem solving. It's not just about bringing fresh ideas to the table, though. Deep conversations also foster stronger relationships within teams. In engaging with the thoughts and feelings of their colleagues, individuals build trust and mutual respect. This emotional connection can create a more cooperative work environment where people are willing to support each other and work together towards common goals. But the impact of deep conversations goes beyond innovation and relationships. It touches upon something more fundamental: workplace productivity and collaboration. Studies have shown that teams that engage in meaningful dialogue are more efficient. They're better at decision-making, at problem-solving, at aligning their efforts. They're not just working, they're working together in the truest sense of the word. Imagine a team where everyone feels heard, where ideas are not just shared but explored. Imagine a team where everyone is invested, not just in the work, but in each other. That's the power of deep conversations. That's the potential that businesses today are starting to realize. Of course, it's not always easy. The shift from small talk to significant dialogue requires effort, patience, and a willingness to be vulnerable. It requires creating an environment where people feel safe to express their thoughts and feelings, where they are encouraged to dive beneath the surface, yet the rewards are worth the challenge. In a world where connection is often reduced to likes and shares, deep conversations offer a chance for genuine interaction. They offer a chance to understand and be understood, to learn and grow, to create something of lasting value. In today's world, deep conversations are not just preferred, they are essential. So what can deep conversations do for us, really? As we dive into this query, let's start by acknowledging the strength deep conversations lend to our social bonds. When we engage in meaningful exchanges, we aren't merely passing time or exchanging pleasantries. We are sharing a part of ourselves, our thoughts, our beliefs, our experiences. In this shared vulnerability, we find connection, authenticity, and a depth of understanding that can't be achieved through casual chatter. Research supports this notion, indicating that individuals with high emotional intelligence have an inclination for substance over small talk. These individuals, often dubbed as deep thinkers, seek conversations that challenge their perspectives, stimulate their minds, and allow them to explore the complexities of human experience. They shy away from the superficial, instead opting for dialogues that are rich, engaging, and thought-provoking. This preference isn't merely a personality trait, it's a catalyst for mental growth. When we engage in deep conversations, we are exposed to new ideas, different viewpoints, and novel ways of thinking. This intellectual stimulation fosters cognitive flexibility, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. It encourages us to question, to analyze, to reflect, and ultimately to grow. But the benefits of deep conversations extend beyond personal growth. They also enhance happiness and productivity. When we feel heard, understood, and valued, it boosts our sense of self-worth and happiness. When we engage in meaningful dialogues at work, we foster a collaborative environment that drives innovation and efficiency. By promoting mutual understanding and respect, deep conversations can transform our professional relationships, leading to a more harmonious and productive workplace. In conclusion, deep conversations are far from empty chatter. They are a powerful tool for personal growth, a catalyst for happiness, and a driving force for productivity. They allow us to form authentic connections, engage in intellectual stimulation, and foster a collaborative environment. So, the next time you find yourself in a conversation, I encourage you to dig a little deeper, to seek substance over small talk. Deep conversations can transform our lives, boosting happiness, productivity, and personal growth. But how do we move away from small talk and towards more meaningful dialogue? The answer lies in developing practical strategies that foster deep and thoughtful communication. Firstly, consider the importance of asking thoughtful questions. This goes beyond the conventional pleasantries of "how are you" or "what do you do?" Instead, try to probe deeper. Ask about passions, interests, or even challenges. These questions can open up gateways to more profound and meaningful conversations. Secondly, the power of active listening cannot be overstated. This means not merely hearing what the other person is saying, but truly understanding and engaging with their thoughts and feelings. When we actively listen, we foster an environment of trust and empathy, where the other person feels heard and valued. This is the bedrock upon which meaningful conversations are built. The next strategy is to create space for depth. This could mean setting aside time for deep conversations or even fostering an environment where such discussions are encouraged. Remember, meaningful dialogues rarely happen in a rush. They require time, patience, and a willingness to delve into the complexities of our thoughts and emotions. Now let's talk about starting with observations. This strategy involves commenting on a shared experience or a mutual observation. It could be as simple as discussing a book you've both read or a movie you've both watched. This shared experience can serve as a springboard into deeper topics. Embracing silence is another key strategy. Often in our rush to fill the void, we resort to small talk. However, silence can be a powerful tool for introspection and can pave the way for more profound exchanges. Finally, easing into profound topics is crucial. Jumping straight into heavy discussions can be off-putting for some. Instead, start with lighter topics and gradually segue into deeper discussions. This creates a comfortable space where both parties feel safe to share their thoughts and feelings. Armed with these strategies, you can transform your conversations and deepen your connections. Remember, the journey towards meaningful dialogue is a continuous one, requiring patience, understanding, and a genuine desire to connect on a deeper level.